Okay. Hello, everybody. Good evening. I hope everyone is doing well. It is wonderful to see you all back for tonight's session as we continue our journey through the world of English vocabulary. Okay. Last meeting, we successfully navigated the first half of our practical exercises. We put into practice the words that we learned about people, right? Words for people like family members, essential people in society, and etc. So you all did an excellent job identifying the roles of the mother, the roles of the father, the teacher, and the doctor. And I was very impressed with how you apply those terms to real life situations. Now, tonight, we are going to pick up exactly where we left off. So, our focus will shift toward the second half of our vocabulary list exercises, those essential words that describe maybe people at work, our physical appearance, the social groups that we belong to, and many, many more. No, those categories that were part of the discussion on words for people. Okay, so we will be testing your knowledge on um different roles, no, different vocabulary that pertains to people. Okay, so I wanted to remind everyone that since I am your tutor, I wanted to remind that these exercises are the most important part of our upbringing in the English language. It is through this repetition, it is through this application that we move beyond just memorizing meanings to truly understanding the usage, to understanding the nuances of each word. So we will be looking at multiple choice questions. We did that already last meeting. So there are two sets of exercises for this evening, which will finish our topic or our focus on words for people. Okay, so the goal for tonight is to finish strong, and hopefully you will cooperate with me because by then, when you try to really share your answer in our chat box, it would feel that you are really engaged in this particular lesson. No, I would take it as you've listened to the lesson that we did last meeting, no, last few meetings, and also for me to really check that you've learned something, no? Because doing these exercises, it is a form of assessment, so as for me to know if you've learned something, no, from my discussion. So by the end of this session, you will have practiced all 30 essential words um from this topic or from this session. So it gives you the power to describe almost anyone you encounter in your daily life because the words for people are always there. No, it is always there when you talk about something. So let's try to refresh our memories in the words that we discussed. Again, the words that we discussed was on family members. What other else? Okay, let me check for a moment because it is on the other. Let me see. Um, Again, let's try to refresh before we continue with the exercises. No, so again, our discussion was on people. We started with family members: mother, father, sister, brother, grandmother, and grandfather, followed by. Now we also have relations, family relations like aunt, cousin, and uncle. We have people in society: teacher, doctor, student, people at work, engineer, chef, police officer. We also have describing people: friendly, tall, child, um, old, kind, and friend. Followed by we have here people in groups. We have neighbor, citizen, stranger. No, next to that is more people words like baby, adult, and boss, and lastly, emotional and roles, happy, leader, and partner. So all those words will be part of our exercises um, by this moment. Okay. Now, is everyone ready? Is everyone ready to take on the different exercises that we are going to do in this session in this evening? If you are, you can always say you are ready or I am ready for today or for this evening. Okay, we have here or we have there chat box where you can type it in your responses so that I would see that there are people listening to me or watching this particular stream. Okay. Anyway, before we officially start, just like what I always do, let's take a deep breath and before so that you can make yourself comfortable at your own spaces there so that no there is really proper learning that will happen. Okay, so we are just going to do some or a simple inhaling and exhaling. No, you exhale all those bad or yeah your stress all throughout the day. Okay, inhale, exhale. Okay, let's do it again. Do it how I do it, especially the exhaling part, because we're trying to release all the bad energy. Okay, inhale, exhale. Okay, thank you. Let's officially start with the exercises for a moment. Okay, again, Fords for people. Let's start. Now, last meeting, let's do a quick review of what we did last meeting. Last meeting, we did or we had three exercises, right? If you were there with me yesterday. Now, first exercise is a multiple choice, which pertains to the family members specifically. Again, multiple choice, what you will be doing is just to choose the correct answer for each question. Now let's try to do it again. Let's try to answer this one again very quickly because I already did a thorough and elaborated explanation on the different answers for these 10 items. First, who is your mother's mother? That is grandmother. Two, who is your father's son? That is your brother. Three, a female sibling is called a sister. Four, your mother's husband is your what? Your father. Number five, your father's mother is your grandmother. Six, a male sibling is called a brother. Seven, your mother's father is your grandfather. Number eight, your father's daughter is your sister. Number nine, who takes care of you at home with your father? That is your mother. Number 10, your father's wife is your mother. Okay? So those are the different answers. If you want a thorough and more elaborated descriptions or explanations as to why these are the answers, you can look back at our previous video, our previous stream, and there you will find the particular thing that you're trying to find, which is a thorough explanation of these items, no, for this exercise. Okay, let's move on to the next exercise. Uh, we did fill in the blanks, which where we focus on the people in society. Now, what do we do here is that we've typed the missing word to complete each sentence. Okay, let's do a quick review. A blank teaches student school. That is a teacher. Next, a blank helps sick people get better. That is doctor. Next, a blank learns new things at school. That is, or you are the student. Four, and blank designs buildings and machines. That is the engineer. Five, a blank designs. No, a blank cooks food in the restaurant. That is the chef. Six, a blank officer keeps people safe. That is police officer. Seven, A blank is in charge at a company. Okay? A blank is in charge at a company. What is that? Let me try to ask this question only. No, so as for me to really see if you were with me last meeting and what was our answer for this one? That is four letters. Boss. Okay? Eight, and blank is a grown up person that is adult. Nine, a blank is very young and small. That is what? Very young and small. Very young and small. Cannot walk, cannot talk, cannot eat properly, can stand on its own. That is a baby. Number 10, a blank leads a group of people. Leads a group of people. What do we call this particular vocabulary for words? What do you think? What do you think is the answer for this one? Take note, there's the hint there that is a leader. Okay? So those are the different answers that we answered last meeting. Again, if you want a thorough and elaborated explanation, you can always go back to the previous stream or the stream last meeting yesterday, and you watch that. No, you watch that because the whole point of that particular session or video or streaming is for these three exercises that we did at the time. Okay, thorough and elaborated explanation in there. And then the last exercise that we did last meeting is matching description and rows. So what we did yesterday, we match each word with its correct definition. Okay, let's try to remember what's the different definitions. First is friendly. Friendly is nice and kind to others. Tall, that is, for a moment. Okay, again, tall is, or was it? Having great height. Child is a young person. Old is having lived many years. Kind is caring and helpful. Happy is feeling joy. Partner is someone you work with, especially inside a company, for example, or in your work in total. Okay, in general. Next, neighbor is okay, lives near your home. Citizen is a member of a country. And last one, stranger is someone you don't know. So those are the different answers for for each word. No, different matches, word matches. Now, again, if you want a thorough and elaborated explanation for this exercise, go back to our last stream or go back to yesterday's stream. And there I explained it thoroughly. I elaborated each item properly. Okay? We're not going to elaborate anymore because that is not the point for this session. For this session, we are focusing on the last two exercises. Okay? All right. Let's see. Let's start with the next exercise. This is our first exercise for the day. Okay? I hope everybody is following and I hope you are all ready for this particular exercises. Again, may I remind you everyone that if you want to give your answer, there is a chat box there. You can always put up your responses in there. Okay? Again, for a moment. Okay. I don't know what's happening to my vision, but there is, it's blurring. But anyway, I can still see. Let me just zoom it in because maybe you are not able to also see it properly. Okay? All right. For a moment. Let's just do it like this because am not I will be giving the instruction first. Okay, for a moment, let me adjust oh my vision. No? Okay. I am just looking at the stream, no? As well as the quality of the stream because we don't know. I am checking actually the audio because we don't know. I am not, I am muted or such thing. I don't want to be muted, of course, because we don't know. It already happened to me once. I don't want it to happen again. Okay. All right. Everybody ready? Hopefully we are ready. Now, let's start with the first exercise. For the exercise 4, we have here true or false, focusing on family relations. Okay? Family relations. There were 3 that were mentioned. How do we answer this particular assessment? We decide if each statement, I'm sorry. Okay. We decide if each statement is true or false. Very simple. You have 2 options. Is the statement true or is the statement false? Okay? That's just basically how you will answer this particular assessment. Okay? So we're going to look through exercise 4, true or false family relations. To ensure you truly master these concepts, I have prepared a deep dive analysis for each of the 8 items on your screen. So we will explore why each statement is true, or why each statement is false. No, connecting them back to the essential vocabulary we have studied or we have discussed, such as the roles of the citizen, neighbors, and the different stages of life from child to adult. Okay, let's have the first sentence. Let's zoom it in so that you can see also. No? Again, true or false. Okay. All right. Let's read the first statement. Your aunt, no? Your aunt is your mother's or father's sister. Again, your aunt is your mother's or father's sister. Is this true or false? Type in your answer, please. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to share your answers. Go. Okay. What is your answer? Again, let's read the sentence. Your aunt is your mother's or father's sister. That is true. Okay, we're correct. Now, everybody, your aunt is your mother's father, a mother's or father's sister. Now in English, this is not in English only, but of course this is true in all statements in all languages. Now in English, family vocabulary is built on specific generations and branches. No, so this statement is true as I've mentioned earlier. So when we study the mother and the father. No, again, mother is the a female parent. Father is the male parent. So when we study those terms, we identify them as the primary parents who provided guidance and upbringing for the child. Now, their siblings, the brothers and the sisters they grew up with, become your or become our aunts or our uncles. If aunts female, a female sibling of your parent. If uncle, male sibling of your parent. Now, just as sister is a female sibling who shares a special bond with you, your aunt is a female sibling who shares the same biological and emotional bond with your parent. So, understanding this particular relationship, it helps us map out family tree. Okay, so if your father has a sister, she is your aunt. If your mother has a sister, she is also your aunt. So this is a common way we expand our understanding of relatives beyond the immediate household, because in many cultures, no, in many cultures, an aunt plays a role similar to grandmother. They provide what? They provide wisdom. No, um, aside from wisdom, they provide stories from the past. So though she belongs to a younger generation, so she is often a confidant and a source of emotional support during your life's journey, much like the support we receive from a mother. Okay, so when you are at a family gathering, you might see your aunt talking to your grandfather. She represents the middle generation that connects the oldest members of the family to the youngest children. Okay, so in our exercises, remembering that aunt corresponds to the sister of a parent is a key logical step. No, so that you cannot hesitate or to share your answer. So if you can identify your parent's sibling, you can correctly use these terms in any social setting, whether you are introducing them to a friend or a colleague. Okay, that is, or this item is true. Next, your cousin. Your cousin is your aunt's or uncle's child. Is this true or false? This is also true. No, this particular statement is also true. Now, everybody, the word child refers to a young person who has not yet reached adulthood. So when that child belongs to your aunt or your uncle, they occupy a specific place in your family hierarchy known as a cousin. Okay, so these are your cousins. Now, unlike a brother or a sister who shares your immediate home and parents, a cousin is part of your extended family. Okay, for a moment. Okay, that's that. Anyway, part of your extended family. So, cousins, they often grow up together. No, they share experiences that really foster happiness and lifelong bonds, much like a friend, but blood related. No, in that sense. So, while they're not siblings, your siblings specifically, the family bond remains strong. Okay? All right. Again, in our vocabulary recap, we mentioned that there are 30 essential words for people, and cousin is one of the most frequently used when discussing social connection. So, if you were to visit your aunt's house, you would likely spend time with your cousins in the kitchen or the living room. So, in professional English, you might even find yourself working with a cousin in the same company. So, in that case, they might be your colleague by day and your family by night. So, understanding that the offspring of your parents' siblings are your cousins allow you to describe the heritage and your current social circle hierarchy. Not hierarchy, but accurately. So, it is a fundamental part of understanding important relationships in life. Okay. Now we move on to number three. Your uncle is your grandmother's husband. Again, your uncle is your grandmother's husband. Husband, by definition, is partner, romantic partner, romantic interest. So, is your romantic interest your grandmother your uncle, or it could be your what? Of course not. This is what? This is false. Why? Because grandmother's husband or grandmother's partner, romantic partner, is what we call it as grandfather. It will never be the uncle because the uncle is the son of your grandmother and grandfather. Okay? So we know that a grandmother is the mother of your parent. Who is her husband? Our vocabulary tells us that the father of your parent is your grandfather. So again, therefore, the husband of your grandmother is your grandfather, not your uncle. So the statement is false. Sorry for that. Now, that is item number 3. Let's move on to number 4. 4, a friend is someone you like and trust. Okay, a friend is someone you like and trust. What do you think is the answer for number 3? I mean, number 4. A friend is someone you like and trust. Okay, I'm gonna give you 10 seconds to answer. Go. Okay, what is your answer? A friend is someone you like and trust. This is true. Okay, so this is true. This is how to call that? You like and trust. So in this particular sentence, we are using we move on to social descriptive words. No, so this statement is true because according to our discussion, especially the slide there, a friend is defined exactly this way, no verbatim, word for word. Friendship involves sharing mutual support, it involves companionship and emotional bonds that foster happiness. So, unlike family members like a brother or sister, a friend is someone you choose to spend your time with because of a shared connection. Now, there's this trust that we put into this particular person because we like them. No, not romantically, but as a person. So, if I may say, friends are essential for our well-being because they can be colleague from the office, a fellow student at university, or even a neighbor who lives next door. So, a true friend is someone you can call on your phone when you don't. Oh, when you need a glass of water or a place to stay. So, this relationship is built on kindness and a gentle and caring nature. Okay? That is number what? Number 4. Again, number 4, a friend is someone you like and trust, and that is obviously true. Okay, let's move on to number 5. A stranger is someone you know very well. This is not very specific, no? It's really objective type of question. It challenges you to answer. What I think is this: a stranger is someone who knows you very well. Ah, from the name itself, we have angel. A stranger is someone you know. Okay, I will consider this one. But what is the answer? An angel is someone you like and trust. What do you think? I am so sorry for that. Anyway, what do you think is the answer? This is, do you trust your friend? Yes. Do you know them very well? Yes. So that is true. Oh, sorry. I misclicked. This should be this one, true. So I already clicked that one. Wait, for a moment, everyone, let me refresh it for you. I don't know what's happening, but it's already clicked. Okay. Okay. What exercise are we? Exercise 4. What was our answer in the first item? Your aunt is your mother's or father's sister. True. Your cousin is your aunt's or uncle's child. True. Your uncle is your grandmother's husband. True. Oh, no. Your uncle. Sorry. I've read it as uncle. I don't know what happened to me, but yeah, let's try to go back because I don't want you to notice the wrong answer. Okay. Okay, this is true. This is true. This is false. A friend is someone you like and trust. This is where we stopped, but this is true. No. So a friend is defined exactly this way. Friendship involves something, sharing, etc. Anyway, what number are we? We are at number 5. A stranger is someone you know very well. Okay? A stranger is someone you know very well. So um the fifth statement. What do you think? Statement number 5. Now, let's try to refresh what stranger is. Stranger in our daily lives, we encounter many strangers on the street, no, or any kind of uh, setting or environment. In our daily lives, we encounter many strangers on the street or the train station. So, train station, animation, yeah, that's that. Okay. Anyway, what is the answer for number 5? A stranger is someone you know very well. Stranger and you know very well. That is most likely false. Oh, wait. Okay. All right. I am correct. That is false. Next, a neighbor lives in a different country. A neighbor lives in a different country. Um, let's say a neighbor. No, no, no. Anan. Okay. The sixth item is someone that could cover up properly our Muslim students or Muslim players. Anyway, our definition here states that neighbor is a person living near you. So unless you're exactly on a national border, a neighbor typically divide. Okay. All right. Again, our next is a neighbor lives in a different country. A neighbor. Okay. This is a neighbor lives in a different country. What is your answer, everyone? This is basically a neighbor lives in a different country. This is false. Why? Well, there is it's not false. But anyway, this is what do you call that? Neighbor. So a neighbor, we're going to focus on neighbor. A neighbor, by definition, are the people who share your local resources. So might see your neighbor when you are she's um when you are looking at your window or walking to your car. Okay. So we have Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for you. Okay, whole day. Anyway, please go inside the you can just leave your belongings behind and just um add the one you can just choose from that, okay? Anyway, okay. So a citizen belongs to a country. This is of course true. Next, an adult is younger than a child. An adult is younger than a child. What do you think? Okay. An adult is younger than a child. Younger. Is it true? Of course, that is false. Why? No? Why is it false? Because um a child is a young person who has not yet reached adulthood, while an adult is fully grown person is typically 18 years older. Therefore, an adult is older than me with child in a child. So the government answer here is okay, false. So adults, as mentioned there, adults are responsible for making their own decisions and managing all of our time. They hold rules such as boss and or teacher. Okay, that is okay. That is false. Anyway, wait. Ah, a baby is a very young person. Okay, sorry. Anyway, this is false. Next is a baby is a very young person. Again, a baby is a very young person. What do you think is the answer? A baby is a very young person. Is it true or false? That is true. They are very, very young. They cannot walk on their own. They can stand on their own. They can talk on their own and everything else. Basic, basic skills. Okay, let's move on to the last item. Your cousin is your brother's child. Again, your cousin is your brother's child. Okay. Okay, that's what do you think is the answer for this one? Your cousin is your brother's child. Your cousin, again, that statement is let me submit in. Your cousin is your brother's child. This is what? For a moment. Let's have the first and last, not the first, but this is the last item. Your aunt. So your cousin is to your brother's child or expenses. So this is false. Okay. All right. Why do you think this is false? Because we're talking about younger mom. Okay. All right. So as an adult is a younger mom than a child. Say it like that. Okay. Anyway, this is our exercise for today. True or false family relations. And these are the different statements. First, your aunt is your mother's or father's sister. That is true. Your cousin is your aunt's. That's true. Okay, thank you. Again, this is true, true, false, false, true, false, true, true, false, false, false. Okay. All right. Thank you. Now, before we continue with another set of exercise, oh, it's already 40 minutes. Anyway, let's do some, a quick check up. Let's do it for 5 minutes, okay? So you can rest your comfortable spaces. You can do what you need to do. Amen. Okay. So your time starts what? Your time starts now. I forgot to mention that it should be 5 minutes. Is it? Okay, again, 5 minutes of break. Okay, thank you. Okay. For a moment. I've been talking and I think I'm muted. Or, yeah, my video is not showing for a moment. Okay. We're back. Anyway, we have here. Oh, I hope everyone is ready for another set of exercise. The last exercise. Okay. Okay, this is just very simple. Now, our last exercise pertains to categorizing. So you sort out the different words. So you click a word and then click its category. Okay? All right. We understood the exercise, right? Again, the instruction goes like this. You click each word. Say, for example, mother. After clicking, what are you going to do? You click the correct category. So we have here three categories all in all. We have family, work, and feelings. Let's say mother is feelings. It will, if the word highlights are colored red, then that is wrong. If it is green, then that is correct. Okay? All right. Now, I cannot wait for a moment. Let me just refresh it so that it is a really correct answer that we have. Okay. All right. Let's start with the first word. What is it? Is it brother? This is brother. Okay. Again, this is brother. Let me type it in. Okay. Brother. All right. S- click a word and then click its category. So we've already clicked the first word, brother. What is its category? Is it family, work, or feelings? Now let's describe what a brother is. A brother is your male sibling. So just like a sister. No, he is a primary relative and belongs in the family category. Okay, that is correct. Next, boss. A boss is the person in charge at work. Okay, so a boss is in charge of at work. Okay, that's the correct. So they are the ones who oversees the employees and they are the ones who makes important decisions. Okay? Next, friendly. Again, friendly. Now, when we talk about a friendly person, they are pleasant to others. So they help build strong relationships and they do they establish welcoming environments, so they are like kind. No? So this belongs to what? Is it family, work, or feelings? Of course, since they're trying to build strong relationships and welcoming environments, we are going to include them at the feelings. Okay? Next, engineer. Now, engineer is the one who designs and builds essential things like bridges or machines, no, so that they ensure that they are safe, those things are safe, or those bridges and machines are safe. Now this technical profession, it fits perfectly under what? Of course, work. Next, mother. Again, mother is your female parent, no, as we learned, they are the one who provides upbringing and essential support, so she belongs firmly to the or in the family category. Next, I've mentioned this one that kind is part of the feelings category because when we talk about being kind, it refers to a gentle and caring nature. No, we try to show compassion toward others in our community. So, this is a trait under the feelings category. Okay? Now, next, we have father. Okay. Again, Father is what? Father is the male parent. So they are the one who offers guidance and helps shape a child's values. So this is a part of family. Next, happy. Happy is being joyful. No, it is an essential emotion that brings joy, that brings positivity to our daily lives. So it belongs in the feelings category. Next, sister. Sister is your female equivalent of a brother. So, sister is a female sibling, part of the family category. And last one, chef. Let me remind you, chef is a professional cook. No, they are the ones who uses their creativity, their skill to prepare meals in restaurants or hotels. So they belong to the work category. Okay? So these are the different categorization of the different words that we included. So we categorize or sort the words by its particular category. First is on family. Now, when we talk about family, we have here this refers to the people who form the foundation of our personal lives and homes. So we have here mother, I mean brother, your your male sibling, mother, your female parent, your father is your male parent, and your sister is your female sibling. Okay. Next to that is work. Now, work. These words describe the roles people play in professional settings, in companies, or the broader economy. So we have here three words: boss, which is the person in charge at work. No, they're the ones who oversees employees, make important decisions. Engineer, professional. Okay, they're the ones who designs and builds infrastructure, especially. Last one, chef. Um, Chef is a professional cook. No, professional cook. So they prepare meals in hotels or restaurants. Next to work, we have, sorry. Okay. Next to work is feelings. Now, when we talk about feelings and traits, this is more on the adjectives, emotions, adjective words. No, they're describing how people feel or the personality traits that they show to the others. So we have here first, friendly. A friendly person is pleasant to others. Kind, being kind is it refers to caring and gentle nature. And lastly, happy. It is an essential emotion that brings joy and positivity. Okay, those are the different categories in this last exercise. So I hope everyone is listening to the whole thing for this one. Now, again, this is the answer. These are the answers. Okay, all right, and okay. This is just since we refreshed the whole website, it only included or recorded the last exercise. Anyway, thank you all, everybody. Thank you all for participating in this particular activities or the set of exercises that we did. I hope you all learned. You really learned something about our discussions on words for people because again and again I've mentioned it already. I've mentioned it plenty of times that these particular words are always included in the discussion, always included in a conversation. Okay, so it is imperative, it is important that you are familiar with them. So thank you all for always listening to me. Thank you for watching the stream, and hopefully, the words that you've learned all throughout our discussions and meetings will be really used and applied in real life. No, because if there is application in real life, those words, those vocabulary will retain much longer to you. Okay. All right. Any questions? No? You always share it in the chat box so that I can recognize and answer your question. Again, any questions that you have. Any questions? I think none. So I believe everything is clear. So that is all for today, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for listening, and see you next meeting for another topic. We're going to open another topic. Have a great rest of the night and good evening, everyone.